What's up everybody, welcome back to Free to Be, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 7 expenses that you can cut out of your life to save you more money in 2020. So let's get started. Alright, now as always, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and take a second and hit the subscribe button down below for me. It really means a lot to me to have your support, and it supports the channel and keeps promoting my videos. So if you could just take a second and hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. Okay, so what are we really going to be talking about today? Well, look, I've identified 7 expenses that most of us probably have that we don't really need any longer. The world is really changing, and it has been for some time now. So it's time to evaluate these 7 things to determine whether we need them. We really need them a part of our lives, because a lot of them actually tend to cost us a lot of money, especially on a recurring basis. So it's time to evaluate these 7 things to determine if we really need them in our lives any longer. And if not, 2020 is a great time to cut them out. So let's just start looking at these expenses together. All right, so the first expense here is a big one. It's cable or satellite TV. I can't believe that just a couple years ago, I was paying almost $160 a month for my TV and internet package. Just thinking about that, it makes me sick, because that's like $1,400 a year that I was just spending for TV services as well as internet, which we do need. But that's a ridiculous sum, guys. It is a waste of money. Think about the things you could do with an extra $1,300 a year. That's a trip. So it's time to start evaluating, because there's tons of different options out there. And now it's to the point where a lot of us have those other options as well. So there's no need to be spending $160 on cable TV, plus another $12.99 for Netflix, $7 for Disney Plus, $8 for Amazon Prime, $6 for Hulu. You get the drill. So what do? Well, look, you can cut the cord completely, and that will save you a lot of money. But I think a lot of us do need internet in our day-to-day lives, so that just is not really a feasible thing. So what you'll do is you'll cut back on the cable portion of that bill, and that'll save you right away probably $60, $70. And it's really important to evaluate the type of internet speed you need, like the type you really need, because that'll even save you some more. So for example, when I did this, I looked at the type of devices that I was using internet on and what services I was using mostly, and it was really just web browsing, maybe streaming on 1 or 2 devices. So I didn't need some breakneck internet speeds or anything like that. Cut back my internet. And so now I pay around $50 a month plus some tax for my internet services, and that basically means that I went from paying $160, $170 a month to $50. I've cut it down by 2/3, saving me nearly $800 a year. So why not do the same thing? You guys should evaluate if you need the cable services, cut those out of your life, get the internet speed that's right for you, and then you can tack on a couple of those, streaming services. So I do have Netflix, and I pay like $12 a month for that, and I also have a Prime subscription, and those are my 2 streaming services, but they come out to $20 a month. So $20 plus the $50 that I have there, which by the way, I was paying for both of those streaming services back when I had the full cable. So it's not like any extra money is being tacked on. Those were also expenses that I was incurring at the time. But now I just pay for internet. I have my 2 streaming services, $70 a month. It makes just way more sense for me. So why not do the same for yourself? All right, so the second expense you're gonna wanna cut out of your life is the cell phone expense. Now, this is a big one because we all use our cell phones all the time. But if you think about it, what are we really using those for, and what type of services are we getting out of that cell phone provider? Yes, most of us text almost all the time. So unlimited text, I'm sure, is important for everyone. But do we need unlimited voice? How many of us are really actually making phone calls to other people? So that's a way to cut it. Now, I understand that a lot of the phone companies kind of bundle that in, and it's impossible to just get a text-only plan. So that's something to consider. But also then think about the data, the Wi-Fi that you're using. A lot of times you're on other people's Wi-Fi, you're getting free Wi-Fi, so do you really need that unlimited data plan? Take a look at what you're using on a month-to-month basis and evaluate your position. For me, I don't think I use more than 5 or 6 gigs a month. On a crazy month, I'll use 12 gigs, let's say. So I don't really need an unlimited plan, and I don't need to be paying $100 a month for one phone to have unlimited data, unlimited talk, unlimited text. So I'm currently in the process of looking at ways to cut that cost down. And you got to understand that the cell phone providers, the smaller ones, they're basically leasing space on the same towers that the bigger companies are using. So it's not like you're going to notice a significant change in your service or your reception or anything like that. So it's important to evaluate all of them. Keep an open mind about it, but this is another way to easily cut $40, $50 of your recurring expenses monthly down, saving you another, $500, $600 a year. So evaluate different providers and cut down that cost. I know this one's an impossible one to cut out altogether, especially in the world we're living today, but you should definitely do some shopping to try to lower that cost for yourself a little bit in 2020. All right, so the third expense you can cut out of your life in 2020, saving you a few $100s a year, is credit monitoring services. Today's world, we can kind of get any information we want on ourselves online for free. So there's really no reason to be paying for credit monitoring services anymore. Because in actuality, all they're doing is just giving you a ping that, hey, your credit score changed, or you might want to check this. They're not really doing much for you that you couldn't do for yourself. It's not worth paying $15, $20 a month for this service, especially because most financial institutions nowadays provide these services to you for free. A lot of them will offer you your FICO score on a monthly basis, or you could pull your credit report once a year for free, no cost to you. There's no reason to be paying $20 any longer for this expense in 2020, so cut that one out. All right, the fourth expense to cut out of your life in 2020 is paid antivirus programs, paid antivirus software for your computer, because there's just plenty of free options available. Now, I'm not saying don't have any kind of antivirus, software on your computer, because that is important to have, but do some research, because there's great options that are free. And if you guys want to see a video about the different options that are available, make sure to leave me a comment down below, because I could make that in a future video to bring you guys that content. So just let me know. But in terms of paying for it, don't do it. You don't need to do that in 2020. All right, the fifth expense, similar to the fourth one, it's cloud storage. Why are we paying $2, $4, $6 a month for cloud storage? It doesn't make any sense. You can have local storage for a fraction of that price annually, or you could probably get some free alternatives as well. There's just no reason to be paying that kind of money for that cloud storage. And what are we storing there anyways? Photos of our food that we'll never look at, old papers, old documents. It's just really a different way of having a storage unit, because now it's in the cloud. So imagine that you filled your house up with all this stuff, and a lot of it is old papers from like grade school, old exams, whatever it may be, and now you're paying someone to store this information for you. Cloud storage is just the digital version of that. We don't need that in our lives, so why not cut out that $5 expense? Even if it's $5 a month, I mean, that still adds up. So why not cut it out in 2020? Okay, the sixth expense to cut out of your life in 2020. This is kind of a crazy one to me, because I didn't even know that this was even a thing anymore. I mean, I thought we were in 2020, so I'm like, this is kind of interesting that these exist still. But it's basically cutting out magazine subscriptions. I don't even know how many of you guys have those. I can't even remember the last time I actually held a physical magazine in my hand. But that's just something you don't need anymore. Everything is available to you online. There's no reason to have a magazine subscription anymore. Even if it's not for the physical version, even if for a digital copy, you can find all that content online for free. So why not just cut out the subscription part of this puzzle and call it a day? Because I imagine that some of them are pretty expensive. I remember when I originally was subscribed to, was it Sports Illustrated? I can't remember what magazine it was, but it was almost like $20 a month. Not worth it anymore, guys. Let's cut that out of our lives in 2020, because it'll save us hundreds of dollars this year. Okay, and so the seventh and final expense to cut out of our lives in 2020 to help us save more money is, and this goes against a lot of people's New Year's resolutions, that gym membership. We do not need to be paying money to go to a gym to exercise, because running is free. And you can do that anywhere. You can go to a park and run for a couple hours. Weightlifting is also free. There's plenty of heavy things in the world to lift. You don't need to pay that. The motivation you're looking for with that gym membership, that really comes from inside. A lot of people will spend $100 a month for a gym membership and go to the gym once every third month. That doesn't make any sense. You're throwing money away. It doesn't make any sense to me. Shouldn't make any sense to you. Gym memberships are not necessary. Now, if time to time you want to enroll in a class, a yoga class or a spin class, that's fine. But this recurring membership fee to just go to an empty warehouse with a bunch of equipment, it's not necessary anymore, guys. We have plenty of alternatives available to us, so why not cut out that cost? Because that right there is an easy $1,000 a year that you're gonna be saving just by cutting and getting rid of that expense in 2020. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed this content, let me know in the comments down below. And if you didn't, let me know in the comments down below as well. But if you did, don't forget to hit the like button down below. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.